Hey GAELS, I got one more video for you from the weekend. It's Sunday night and I want to tell you about how the first 2 days of the challenge have gone. So you saw me eating breakfast on Saturday morning. When it came to lunchtime, I opened up the cupboard with my food in it and I stood there staring at it for a couple of minutes when my wife said to me, "I think you need to make a meal plan." And that was a realization for me. I've never really had to do that before in my life. Generally, if we need something for a meal, I can run to the grocery store and get it and come back and it's not a problem. For this one I had a limited number of ingredients and I have to make it last a week, and I found myself thinking it's kind of like I'm on the show Chopped, where I have to use these things and I have minimal other things. So the other part of the challenge I haven't told you about yet is that you can use 5 standard pantry items as long as they're actually in your pantry. So things like flour or vegetable oil or salt or spices you can use, or coffee and tea and soy sauce and ketchup. I don't drink coffee, so I didn't go with that one. So I went with flour, sugar, salt, spices, and margarine were my 5 things that I chose. And I was actually able to get pretty creative a la Chopped style, and I made 14 muffins, not using anything else other than some of those 5 ingredients I just told you about and the fruit cocktail that I was given as my fruit in the muffins. I've tried them, they taste exactly like fruit cocktail, so they're not necessarily the tastiest muffins, but they're going to last me. And now I can have 3 muffins every day as snacks while I'm teaching at school. I think that's pretty good. The other one I was stuck with was, how am I going to use a can of chickpeas? You know, I can't make hummus or a curry or anything like that because I don't have all the ingredients I need and I'm not allowed that. What I did was I looked online, Googled what I could do with chickpeas, and I roasted them. So now they're kind of like eating peanuts or something. So they're just seasoned with a little bit of salt and those spices I told you about. They're pretty good. So I was overwhelmed yesterday. I was pretty hungry on day 1. Day 2 has went a lot better. I even have leftovers from both of my dinners. So I'm thinking this challenge is doable, and I feel like I'm going to make it. Hey GAELS, it's Mr. Courneya and Ms. Bowley here. We have just finished teaching our first day while on the food bank challenge. Ms. Bowley, how are you feeling?
I'm okay, except I'm starting to get a little foggy in my brain. How about you?
I'm feeling, I'm confident now. So I was really overwhelmed on day 1, but I told my students in my 3rd period class today, I can say with 100% confidence that I'm going to finish this challenge. That's not bragging, I want to do it, so I am going to do it.
And with me, I figure I have to treat it realistically that I have no choice. That's the only food that I have.
And I noticed you're drinking some tea there. Is that one of your 5 pantry list items?
Yes, you get 5 pantry list items, and I chose tea because I find tea comforting and it'll fill me up. And right now I've allotted food and I can't eat again until I get home at 5. So this is hopefully going to fill me up just a little bit. But you seem to be spreading your food better than me, or being more creative with your food.
I found actually that if I only eat until I'm not hungry, I can stretch the food further. So for example, at lunch today, I actually had quite a substantial lunch ready and I was excited about it, but I ate almost all of my peanut butter sandwich. It's peanut butter sandwiches for every meal and I'm going to get sick of them, but that's what I got. So I ate almost all of the sandwich. And I had a juice box in there that I never actually opened. I had one of the fruit chew bars. I only ate half of it. And I had some of the roasted chickpeas that I talked about in the video you just saw. And so I ate some of that, but I was eating slowly, and when I realized I wasn't feeling hungry anymore, I simply closed my lunchbox. And I'll probably dig into that just before I go home today again to have a little bit of energy for my car ride home so I'm not falling asleep at the wheel or really getting tortured on my drive to London. But yeah, so smaller meals spaced out more is working for me.
And I think I need to do your roasted chickpea recipe that you shared with me. And I think that brings up a point of how we need to really work as a community. We used to have a community kitchen in Glencoe, and we do have the regeneration soup program and lunch program that's at Tuesdays and Thursdays, and churches do soup. So I think communities try to come together to help people. But when you have support for your challenges, it makes life a lot easier. I think we've had some pretty good discussions all day today with different classes. And with our SAA, we had a great discussion. And I know you've had some good discussions in your health class, so I think we're kind of starting that conversation that needs to be had about coming together as a community and feeling empathetic and understanding what other people might not be going through or might be going through.
Yeah.
See, I told you I'm
how can we
unable to think.
How can we help our community help others? Is what we need to think about. And I started thinking about this in terms of, I used to feel if somebody came to the door for a canned food drive, I would give them a couple cans of soup and I'd walk away and pat myself on the back and feel good about myself for doing my part. I can tell you from doing this challenge, a can of soup will give me one meal. The box of cereal that I got is going to last me for 6 breakfasts. And the jar of peanut butter I got is going to last me for 6 lunches. Items like that are more substantial. They might cost a bit more than an 88-cent can of soup, but they're going to go a long way further towards helping somebody get through maybe a rough week where they needed some help from the food bank. So I'm definitely rethinking what I'm going to be donating when people come around. And the other thing that came up is that fresh fruit and vegetable piece. It's hard for you to donate that stuff to a non-perishable food drive, but I've learned that you can bring your donations of perishable foods like milk and eggs and fruit and vegetable directly to a food bank, and they can get it out there same day. So that's something. And the other thing is to buy gift cards that they can include in the hampers or in the boxes they send out so that people can go pick their own fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, meat, eggs, dairy products.
So we have, we're posting in the hall, in the main hall outside the Guidance Center, a bulletin board that's going to be updated daily with my Facebook blog and people's input on it, and links to Mr. Courneya's videos. But we have a section there for you to include your thoughts and ideas. So we welcome you to add some ideas just that are coming to your mind about ways that we can help others, or just thoughts that come to mind when we're having these conversations.
See you tomorrow, GAELS.
Thanks.